Hello and welcome back to All About Community. Again, my name is Juavette Johansen and I am your host. When we went to break, I was about to get into this whole discussion of real estate. And we all know that the real estate market, especially here in the Bay Area, is just hot, hot, hot. Matter of fact, you get close to it, it will burn you. So tell us, what's going on with this real estate market
Well,
here?
yes, the market is hot, 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 like you just said. And, I do a lot of educational series on, home buying because I do believe in home ownership, period, especially for our people.
Absolutely.
I'm part of a group called NARAB, and NARAB is the African American Real Estate Broker Group, and it's our mission to increase black home ownership.
Yeah, I've spoken at one of their national
Oh my
conventions
goodness,
in
yes.
Detroit years
yes.
ago.
Yeah, I love the organization. I love what it represents. And so for me, as a realtor, or we call ourselves realtists, it's our duty,
Right.
it's our duty to help people get into homes, especially young people, because it is on the decline right now of young people buying homes.
Yeah.
And so we're really trying to, get them that mindset to say, you know what, this is something that for you and for the next generations after you and after you and after you.
What is driving this hot real estate market? Matter of fact, it's been driven to the extent that a lot of people, especially black folks, can't even afford to buy a house.
Yeah,
What's going on here?
It all goes back to supply and demand, period. And I will say this, I think when the first, when the virus came, a lot of people didn't want to show their house, because they don't want people in their house going in and out, which means that there's going to be less inventory now.
Right.
Well, less inventory drove up the prices. And I mean crazy prices. And once again, it was because the inventory was very low. You got that on top of having, interest rates being very low, and people were just out there buying like crazy. Now, personally, sometimes these bidding wars can get out of hand.
Are they sustainable? Right now, I'm seeing houses. I wouldn't even think of buying those houses at almost $1 million.
Yeah. And I don't see it decreasing, honestly, anytime soon.
Why?
Now, I will say this, I think with this new variant, once again, it's starting to like close up a little bit. And so once again, the inventory may go down. If inventory goes down, then once again, prices will go up.
But isn't a lot of this being driven by high tech from Silicon Valley coming to San Francisco? Then they run out in terms of homes they can buy in San Francisco. Then they start invading Oakland and coming over to Oakland.
And yeah, that part. And also, there are a lot of people that have cash. I was selling a house.
But where are they getting all that cash from?
Well, let me see this.
Hopefully they're not stealing it.
I will say this. I don't see too many of us.
Right.
I do see other cultures.
Exactly.
Coming in. Like I said, I had a house in San Francisco for sale. My first 2 open houses, I'm just saying, nothing but Asian people. Nothing but Asian people. And so, but once again, buying a home also has to be about having a plan to buy a home. It means getting in position before it's even time to buy a home.
Yeah, but how do you get into a position to do that? Don't you have to save up the money for the down payment? If your down payment on an $800,000 house, you gotta come up with a lot of cash.
Yeah. So, but I'm saying is that you have to have a plan.
Okay. Tell us about having a plan.
Like I met this one young guy. He was like 27 years old, and he came in. I had a house for sale of like 1.2 million. And he told me that he had been saving and planning for 2 years, waiting for the time to buy.
Okay.
It wasn't just like he just walked in to buy a house.
Okay.
For 2 years, he was saving his money. For 2 years, he was taking classes, getting educated about the whole process and what he had to do.
Okay.
What I mean is that we have to, once again, take the time to plan for what we want. Not just say, oh, I want a house today, and then buy one tomorrow. It takes time.
Yeah, but 2 years, you're not going to be able to save up what a down payment is required for a house nowadays. Or even 1.3 million, 20% is what?
Yes.
I mean, do the math.
Yes. So let me go back to this young man.
Okay.
What he did was he bought a house in not a great area.
Okay.
Not with that much money at all, he said, right?
Okay.
And he said that he waited. and he waited. After 2 years, he got equity. So in other words, he says that I compromised just to get into my first house.
Okay.
You know, built the equity, then I was able to buy something else. What I did when I first bought my first house was I bought it with my mother.
Okay.
We actually bought a duplex. So in other words, we went in together, bought a duplex, waited 4 or 5 years, got equity, and then we each went out and bought our own place.
So what you're suggesting is that be reasonable in terms of how to enter the marketplace in the first place.
Exactly.
And there's nothing wrong with coordinating with relatives or others that you can trust.
Absolutely. Right now, even at my house right now, my cousin is staying with me so that she can save money to buy a home.
And that's something that I guess we call generational wealth building when we start doing that.
Amen. Amen. And like I say, you know, we come together as a family to help each other. Okay, you know, you're in line, let me help you. Who's next? You're in line, let me help you.
Well, that's something that we're going to focus on next about generational wealth building and how that works and how it can be used as an effective tool to pass on wealth from generation to generation, something that we have not historically done. So don't touch that remote. Put it down, put it down. We will be right back with All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris, and I am your host, and my guest is Juavette Johansen.